Serves him right, Sophie said. She could feel no sympathy for this giant brute, who ate children as though they were sugar lumps. Save us, screamed the flesh lump eater, thrashing about madly. He is after me. He is getting me. The thrashing of limbs and the waving of arms became more violent by the second. It was an awesome thing to watch such a massive creature having such mighty con- convulsions. It's Jack, bellowed the flesh lamp eater. It's the grufful, grunches Jack. Jack is after me. Jack is whack-crackling me. Jack is spike-sticking me. Jack is splash-plunking me. It was the terrible fright-sweeping Jack the flesh lamp eater was writhing about over the ground like some colossal tortured snake. Spare me, Jack, he yelled. Don't hurt me, Jack. Who is this Jack he is on about? Sophie whispered. Jack is the only human being all giants is frightened of. The BFG told her. They is all absolutely terrified of Jack. They is all hearing that Jack is the famous giant killer. Save me, screamed the flesh lamp eater. Have mercy on this poor little giant. The beanstalk. He is coming at me with his terrible spike-sticking beanstalk. Take it away. I is begging you, Jack. I is praying you not to touch me with your terrible spike-sticking beanstalk. Us giants, the BFG whispered, is not knowing very much about this dreaded human being called Jack. We is knowing only that he is the famous giant killer and that he is owning something called a beanstalk. We is knowing also that the beanstalk is a fearsome thing and Jack is using it to kill giants. Sophie couldn't stop smiling. What is he giggling at? The BFG asked her, slightly nettled. I'll tell you later, Sophie said. The awful nightmare had now gripped the giant brute to such an extent that he was tying his whole body into knots. Do not do it, Jack, he screeched. I was not eating you, Jack. I's never eating human beings. I swear I has never gobbled a single human being in my wholesome life. Liar, Sophie WFG, said WFG. Just then one of the flesh lamp eater's flailing fists caught the still fast asleep, meat-dripping giant smack in the mouth. At the same time, one of his fiercely thrashing legs kicked the snoring gizzard gulping giant right in the guts. Both the injured giants woke up and leaped to their feet. He's whipping me right in the mouth, yelled the meat ripper. He is bug swoggling me, smacked the giants, shouted the gizzard gulper. The two of them rushed at the flesh lamp eater and began pounding him with their fists and feet. The scourged flesh lamp eater woke up with a bang. He woke straight from one nightmare into another he roared into battle, and in a bellowing, thumping row and tumble that followed, one sleeping giant after another either got stabbed open or kicked. Soon all 9 of them were on their feet, having the most almighty free-for-all. They punched, they punched and kicked and scratched and bit and butted each other as hard as they could. Blood flowed, noses went crunch, teeth fell out like hailstones. The giants roared and screamed and cursed, and for many minutes the noise of battle rolled across the yellow plain. The BFG smiled a big wide smile of absolute pleasure. "I's loving it. Wendy is all having a good though, and Rumble," he said. "They'll kill each other," Sophie said. "Never," the BFG answered. "Those beasts is always bishing and whooping at one another. Soon it will be getting dusky, and they will be galloping off to fill their tummies. Their cars and full and filthy," Sophie said. "I hate them," as the BFG headed back to the cave. He said quietly, "We certainly was putting the nightmare to good use though, wasn't he?" "Excellent use," Sophie said. "Well done, you."